Congratulations, you finally made it to the last video in Unit 1. This is the last video for both Lesson 1-8 and for Unit 1. Congratulations. I know that we've had several videos this lesson, so appreciate you guys sticking through it. Not going to take up any more time on formalities, so let's go ahead and just jump right in so we can get you through this last video. Our last example, example 11, we have a word problem inequality. Sammy works 2 jobs to help pay for her college tuition. At Zaxby, she earns $8 an hour, and we want to represent that with the variable y. And she also babysits and earns $16 an hour, and we want to represent that with the variable x. She must earn at least $240 per week to make her necessary payments. We want to write and graph an inequality to model this situation, and then give 2 possible combinations that she could work. So we need to start out by writing an equation. Now, we know that at Zaxby's, she earns $8 every hour. And we know she works y hours because we don't have a specific number at this point. And she also babysits for $16 an hour. And they want us to use her babysitting hours to be represented by x. Now, we know that she must earn at least $240. So we want to put a 240 over here. What we need is to figure out what symbol goes in there. If she's wanting to earn at least $240, that means she would be happy if she made exactly $240. So we know we're going to have the equal to line underneath whichever symbol we choose. Now, since it's at least, that means she needs to make more than 240. And the symbol we're going to use for that is greater than. So this ends up being a greater than or equal to. Now, before we can graph this, we need to get this into slope-intercept form. So we are going to subtract 16x from both sides. So we're going to have 8y is greater than or equal to negative 16x plus 240. The next thing we're going to need to do is divide everything by 8. That's going to give us y is greater than or equal to negative 2x plus 30. Alright, so now we can go ahead and graph this. Our y-intercept is going to be 30, so we're going to go up. Make sure we're paying attention to our scale as we go across. And then we're going to have a slope of negative 2. So what that is going to mean is we're going to go down 2 for every 1 that we go over. Now we got to be careful with this because if you notice our y values are counting by 10s and our x values are counting by 2s. So we got to be really careful when we go down here. We're going to have to kind of estimate a little bit based on this scale. Hopefully you'll have a graph where it's a little bit easier to do this on. But we're going to make the best of what we have. Alright, so if we go down 2 and then over 1, we're only going to go halfway over since we're counting by 1s. And then we'll go down about 2 again, over 1. And we're going to keep doing this. And we will draw our line. Now, when we got to look at what we're going to do for our line, we're going to look back at our symbol. This is a greater than or equal to, so we do want a solid line. So we want to make sure that we are not picking up our pencil, that we are going from one end to the other. No dashes. Alright. And then we want to look at where we need to shade. If we are looking at where we need to shade, it is greater than or equal to, so we want to shade everywhere above. We are finally asked at the end, what are 2 possible combinations? So we can pick any 2 ordered pairs in the shaded region. So for example, she could work, let's say, 10 hours babysitting. And maybe 20 hours at Zaxby's. So that would be 1. And then we can pick any other ordered pair here. We could maybe say 8 hours of babysitting and 30 hours at Zaxby's. So any combination in that green shaded region is going to work. Alright, that wraps up your last video. Complete that last section of practice that we had you save till you watch videos 7 and 8. Congratulations, you've made it all the way through your Unit 1 videos. Can't wait to see you guys in Unit 2.